Coming up on The Arts Connection. We board the Disney Wonder for a look behind the scenes of entertainment at the Disney Cruise Line. And he's one of the Orlando Ballet's rising stars, Brooklyn Mack. His career leaps forward with a prestigious award. Plus, we relive the days of disco, baby style. All that and more coming up on The Arts Connection. Hello and welcome to The Arts Connection, your program about all things creative here in Central Florida. I'm Cecily Wilson, and what could be more creative than the world of Disney? We're on board the Disney Wonder, and this classic ocean liner sails from Port Canaveral to the Bahamas. It has 11 decks and a theater that seats nearly 1,000 guests. Now, our theme this week is Dance, Dance, Dance. We're going to revisit some of our stories that feature this creative movement. And staying true to our theme, the Disney Wonder dazzles its guests with brilliant Broadway-style productions with all the singing, dancing, and costumes and special effects that you could ever want. We're going to catch up with the cruise director in just a few moments, but first, every now and then a golden opportunity comes along in a person's life, and that's what happened for one Orlando woman. She put something together in the way of entertainment for audiences young and old alike, and it is simply fabulous. They have all the right moves. The years of talent twinkle all the way down to their toes. This talented group of men and women can rival any fresh competition. Some might expect they should be walking with a cane, but instead they're dancing with one. Kicking up their heels and showing off their skills. And get this, they're all over the age of 55.
I'm one of the younger ones. We have women up in their 80s in here, okay? And not that I'm a baby, but I am still in my 50s.
Ask me my age, 82, this past August. What's the alternative? I'm grateful that I'm still here. It's wonderful. And this dancing, I think, is helping a lot.
Miriam Crandell is considered the senior and the comedian in this group called the Fab Follies. She offers a bit of comedy relief on stage.
I laugh at myself. I mean, I'm listening to the way I'm singing and I get hysterical. You can see I'm laughing. I can't get over how the notes come out.
Each performer dancing and singing their way into the hearts of audiences across Central Florida. Not only do they have talent, but some of them have been on stage for more than 50 years.
One gal was with Jimmy Durante. I know one gal was performing with Milton Berle. You know, one of our girls, I understand, was with the Rockettes for a short period of time in New York.
And yes, even working with Elizabeth Taylor. No, not that Liz, this one.
Don't bring your problems in here and leave your egos outside.
Liz Darling has a no-nonsense approach as the Follies director, producer, and choreographer. She too has a long list of credits.
I did a lot of stage work. I did Peter Pan. I understudied Peter.
The Fab Follies became a reality when Taylor seized a golden opportunity to do something different.
You know, I started it because I saw these old people get up and walk out of shows. They just didn't like what they were seeing at the Civic Theater, so that's when I went in and I said, do something for the seniors. And he said, wonderful, go ahead, Liz.
From there, she became a bit of a Pied Piper, recruiting, auditioning, and rehearsing senior citizens for what was sure to be unique to Orlando. What began with 10 singers, 10 dancers, and only 3 men is now up to 8 men.
I never thought that they would do it, but they are easier for me to handle than some of the women sometimes. They take direction so well.
What?
They take direction so well. It's when we go round here. If you're going to go to the right, keep it in your mind that you have to step onto the right foot to step up.
Douglas Watts is one of the men who loves the singing and the camaraderie. But there's one thing he says that takes some getting used to.
It's like having 37 wives. They all complain. I have to do everything.
The group is celebrating 10 years on stage in Central Florida.
Sweetie pie, all the day and night time.
And each show gives the audience more than they expected.
It was great, you know. I was really amazed, particularly, you know, a great variety of songs, you know, some of the old-time standards, and of course the costuming. What can you say?
The accolades that I get at the end of the show are quite overwhelming. I sort of think, I think they're good, but are we that good, you know?
The short answer, yes. Even though the Follies don't get paid a dime, they're all committed to hitting the stage for more reasons than one.
I think I am doing great because of all this activity. What do they say? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Judging by the kick line, they've not lost one beat.
What do you think of the old girl now?
You look marvelous, Dolly. Well, if you can't get enough of these fab follies, simply log on to our website for more information and future performances. If you're just joining us, we're on board the Disney Wonder, and yes, the magic is everywhere, even here inside the Animator's Palette. It's the ship's signature restaurant, and no, there's no dancing here, but there's plenty of creativity for your palette. Like this, the room changes colors right before your eyes. Like that. Well, each year, the Orlando Ballet prepares for a dynamic season filled with performances that include high energy and tender moments, not to mention the amazingly talented dancers. But some may remember when the Orlando Ballet wasn't at the top of its game, but few can forget the woman who helped put them on top. She's being called the ballet savior. From the grand jetés to the relevés, the Orlando Ballet Company stands toe-to-toe with some of the premier dance organizations. Its name is recognized around the world. It's hard to believe that just 10 years ago, that wasn't the case at all.
Our audience just started going down.
It just really wasn't professional.
It was a tough time.
It was just an adequate regional ballet company.
Known then as the Southern Ballet Theater, a company drowning in a $400,000 Red Sea.
$400,000 on $1 million budget. I mean, that was pretty bad, and we were pretty scared. Staff would go 3 weeks without pay, and all of a sudden we found an angel.
Poised and positioned to take the Southern Ballet Theater under her wings, Trisha Earle, wife of Planet Hollywood mogul Robert Earle, took center stage.
It wasn't rocket science, it was just, I think they were hurting so much and they were in such debt that they couldn't look from the outside in about we just can make small steps and make a difference.
Earle is very modest and downplays her involvement with the company, but with seeming ease and grace, she choreographed a party at her home. It would be just the ticket to help pull the ballet out of debt.
An Evening in Paradise, I believe it was called, and it was just so many people around Orlando were curious about Robert and Trisha Earle, of course. They couldn't wait, so they supported the ballet at the same time as satisfying their curiosity to see how the rich and famous live.
We had different food stations all around, and we have more area here with more food stations. So we did that all around the pool and set it up. We have a big tennis court, and Disney donated all the flowers and plants. And we had a stage on the tennis court, a water ski show, and the dancers, of course, dance.
By night's end, the debt that had the ballet seeing red was gone.
We raised about $117,000. With the $400,000 debt, $200,000 was forgiven by the bank. They became a United Arts sponsor. Then we had someone on the board who was a bankruptcy expert, which was excellent, and so he phoned people and offered them money, you know, cents on the dollar, and we paid off our debt basically.
That was the first of many fundraisers that would help generate money. According to Earle, even with the debt wiped clean, she noticed a lot of things wrong artistically in the company. So Earle solicited the advice of famed dancer Fernando Pajones.
I am Fernando Bujones, the artistic director of Orlando Ballet, and thank you.
I didn't realize I was coaching such a famous man. I mean, he is well known everywhere in the world, and he was quite a phenomenon.
Earle stopped short of taking all the credit, sharing the spotlight with her contacts and her beloved friend, Fernando Bajones.
Well, the ballet, he made it what it is today, really. He built the foundation. He also took it from being, because of his reputation, he took it from being a local little company to Fernando Bajones' company. I mean, he brought the world into Orlando, really.
Bajones died in 2005, and another legendary dancer took the reins, Bruce Marks. Both men are considered two of the greatest ballet figures of the 20th century, and both are featured in a book of legends and icons.
We have these two people who Orlando have been fortunate enough to have in our city.
Today, not only is the ballet company recognized, but the school is recognized as the best in the nation for the past 2 years.
We are poised to be an international ballet company. We have a school where everyone wants to study, where we can produce those incredible premier ballerinas.
Now the stage is set for the next performance. So if you'd like more information on the Orlando Ballet, simply log on to our website at wmfe.org/arts. Now, if you are able to catch one of their performances, keep your eyes open for one of their dancers, Brooklyn Mack. He is an emerging talent that represents the best and brightest in the world of dance. So much so that he's received a prestigious award, and it's taking him to new levels of artistic expression.
This is my life, my dream, my passion. When I'm on stage, it's a feeling like no other.
As a child, Brooklyn Mack never dreamed of being a ballet dancer. Instead, this South Carolina native had his eyes set on football and basketball.
At one point I wanted to be a lawyer, soccer player, basketball player, and I wanted to really pursue was football.
But a 7th grade field trip to the ballet changed everything.
I saw a gala and the dancers were amazing. They were from around the world. They were athletically just awesome. So I saw at that point how ballet could help me out with football.
So he started tackling ballet classes 6 days a week. But being 12 years old, he was at a little disadvantage.
They had already been dancing for about 6 to 8 years, whereas I was just beginning.
As he became immersed in intense training, football and basketball took back seat to his new passion.
And my friend said to me, "You're always going to ballet class. You never come out and play backyard football no more like you used to." And I realized how many hours I was actually spending doing this.
At 15 years old, he took his love for ballet to new heights.
Left to Washington, D.C. to go to the Kirov Academy of Ballet, which is a ballet boarding school.
After graduating from the academy in 2004, Brooklyn was off to Joffrey Ballet of Chicago as an apprentice. And a year later, he made his way to the dance capital, New York City, where he joined the American Ballet Company. His dance career now takes center stage at the Orlando Ballet, where he's made a name for himself in the ballet world.
He will, elicit all sorts of audience response, including applause when he does something spectacular.
I like to think that the people are dancing with me when they're watching me, and that's why when I jump, they have an intake of air at the same time I jump, like they're jumping. Because that's what I feel when I'm jumping, and I think when the audience makes that sound, I feel that they're there with me and they're jumping with me.
His perfection in the air has gained international acclaim with the awarding of the Princess Grace Dance Fellowship, named in honor of Princess Grace of Monaco.
I never really dreamed of ever receiving anything like that.
Well, the Princess Grace Awards are given to emerging talent, talent that is recognized as having a lot of potential.
It's like, I don't know, like winning a Grammy or something.
It's considered to be one of the most prestigious awards for artists in America, an award that grants between $5,000 and $25,000. The purpose? To help aspiring artists like Brooklyn pursue their dreams.
This is a great opportunity for Brooklyn. Clearly, he will get a lot of national prominence on his own.
With such notoriety, you never know where this 21-year-old will go next.
I want to tour the world and be a guest principal with all of the major companies and just inspire and I guess enlighten the world through my art.
An art that is apparent to anyone who watches.
He looks like he defies gravity. It's incredible. He is certainly a very lyrical dancer. He has incredible technique.
Ballet for me is, I don't know, everything that's good just rolled up into a few short moments. That's what ballet is for me.
Well, this isn't the stage for the Orlando Ballet, but there is a lot of singing and dancing going on here. Again, we're on board the Disney Wonder, now inside the Walt Disney Theater. And when the curtain goes up on this stage, that's when all the magic is created. Joining me now is the ship's cruise director, Clayton Lindsay. And Clayton, we want to know, how does it all come together? We're all ears.
Well, it all comes together with a giant team of 22 technicians, about 25 highly trained, highly talented entertainers that come to us from all over the world. And when they come to us, they have to be able to perform not one, not two, but 3 fantastic award-winning shows. We have the Go to Mickey's, we have Disney Dreams, the Enchanted Classic, and we also have our new show, Toy Story the Musical.
So there's a lot of dancing going on here.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you have tap dancing, you have some ballet, you have some modern jazz, you have everything is here.
When we think about the performers themselves, do they need to have that triple threat theory going on?
Absolutely. It's funny that you say that because all of our performers need to have that triple threat. They need to be able to sing, they need to be able to act, and they need to be able to of course, dance.
And what about auditioning and practicing and rehearsals?
They're rehearsed for anywhere from about 6 to 8 weeks before they come on board. Once they come on board, they continue with daily rehearsals as well.
Are the guests surprised to see the level of artistic expression here?
Well, our Disney guests expect nothing but the best from us, and so that's what we give them. The best experience, the best Disney theater experience. We also have the Broadway award-winning show, so that's what you're going to see inside this theater. It's been a while since we've had a brand new show, and Toy Story the Musical, a Pixar show, and we had to take what's called a Pixar movie and add music to it. So we have a lot of original music in there. John Lasseter came on board and gave us the big thumbs up because there is a lot of dancing in there as well. So if you get the thumbs up from John Lasseter for your dance ability,
that's a good thing.
You've got a good thing.
All righty. Well,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Clayton, for sharing the magic with us here inside the Disney Theater. And of course, if you want more information on the Disney Cruise Line and what goes on inside this theater, simply log on to our website. Now that you're using your imagination, let's go back to the days of Saturday Night Fever. You remember the 70s? Everybody loved disco, and now in 2008, even baby loves disco. It's the latest dance party grooving across the country for kids 9 and under, and now it's stopping in Orlando.
Club Firestone, rated by Billboard Magazine, Rolling Stone, and MTV as one of the hottest nightclubs in Orlando. A club that has attracted partygoers like Jay-Z, Christina Aguilera, and Britney Spears. But today, these A-listers would never make it past the velvet ropes.
You don't have any little ones with you, I can't let you in. Sorry.
You have to have what now?
You have to have kids to come in here. Yes, no kids, no entry.
You heard right. If you take a closer look, you'll see it's not the usual weekend revelers. And once inside, it's unlike any party Club Firestone has ever hosted.
Ain't no doubt we are here to party.
The scene, lots of this. Lots of 2-year-olds doing this, so.
It's Baby Loves Disco. A national venture that transforms the hippest nightclubs across the country into child-proof discos, including its most recent stop, Orlando, thanks to local mom, Carrie Martin.
And I saw Baby Loves Disco, and I said, what is this? Looked at it, and I said, we got to do it in Orlando. We have nothing like this here. And so I emailed the powers that be at Baby Loves Disco. They're headquartered in Philadelphia. And immediately they responded within a day saying, we're there. We want to be in the land of Mickey Mouse.
Ah, but make no mistake, this is no Mickey Mouse Club.
And this is something so unique. And I love the way it brings parents and kids together.
Who'd you bring with you today?
This is Jack.
And Jack's how old?
4.
4. So he's your date for this event.
Yes,
Who'd you come with?
with my mom and my dad.
Who's a better dancer?
My mom. It's just a really fun way for the kids to have a good time, spend time with their parents, and parents to get out, meet other moms, and get together with their friends.
I don't think there's really very much stuff like this where it's for, you know, like 30-something people who are still active and, you know, they want to go out there and they want to do fun stuff with people their own age. I mean, it's really quite a unique event.
I've lived in Orlando for 9 years, and this is the most people I've seen out that I know at the same time.
Baby Loves Disco is much more than a social outing, according to Lynn Hartle, expert in childhood development.
This gives them a wonderful opportunity for them to express themselves, to be themselves, and young children think through the arts. They express themselves through the arts. Even before language develops, they can sing, they can dance. So the beats that they have, you can just feel yourself wanting to dance, wanting to move.
You can do the playground thing, you can do the jamboree thing, and you can only do it for so long.
But an afternoon boogie to something other than Barney, now that's priceless.
No doubt you've heard about the popular television reality competition Dancing with the Stars. Well, what about Dancing with the Opera Stars? It's the Orlando Opera Company's way of combining two art forms, music and waltzing, to create excitement the entire community can get involved in. So you think you can dance? Or do you think you have two left feet? Like me. Whatever the case, it was once considered the forbidden dance in the European dance halls during the late 18th century.
The very first dance where the man put his arm around the lady's waist. So it was very shocking, and it was called the forbidden dance at the time.
Not holding her too tight, not bringing her in too tight, let her have her own space.
Well, it's the waltz, of course, but this is the 21st century, and these days it's not only not forbidden, it's even making a comeback and has dance lovers learning to glide all over again.
Interesting, though, that a lot of people are going back to the more classic forms of ballroom dancing.
Yes, even the Orlando Opera Company is getting in on some of this dirty dancing.
Absolutely. If that will sell tickets, it's the dirty dancing of this time.
Jim Ireland, the opera's executive director, thought what better way to talk about their upcoming performance, The Fledermaus, featuring the music of none other than waltz king Johann Strauss, than to invite the community to waltz with the opera stars.
Learn about the opera, learn about waltzing, and it all sort of fits together. It's another bit of sort of fun community outreach, which we're trying to do a lot of at the opera to sort of unstuffify the image that opera sometimes has.
So Ireland brought in some opera stars and the USA dance performers to teach dance lovers the art of the waltz. And who knew there were so many different versions of the waltz?
There's the Hessian waltz, a Peruvian waltz, there's a tango waltz, there's a country western waltz I was reading about, but it all started with the Viennese waltz.
Robin Stamper, the opera's music director, says when it comes to dancing the waltz, it's equally as important to use your ears as it is to use your feet.
Many of the great composers, Chopin, Debussy, Ravel, wrote waltzes as instrumental pieces that you couldn't possibly dance to, like the Minute Waltz. Who's going to be able to dance to that? Maybe Bugs Bunny.
Well, Bugs may have a leg up on that one, but have no fear, young grasshopper. The basics are simple.
Basically, the formula for a waltz, it's always in a 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
The good news is it's just walking. You don't have to hold, you don't have to tap your feet or anything like that. You just walk in time to the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 music.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the harmony stays the same per each bar.
The other really cool thing about the classic dance form is that even teenagers are figuring out its appeal.
Different, obviously, than what we're dancing nowadays as teenagers.
It's rather smooth, relaxing. It lets you slow down and just be yourself.
All right, come on, Tim. What's the real reason?
You get closer to the girls, I'll be honest. That's the main reason why I joined ballroom.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So whether you're waltzing to Justin Timberlake or Johann Strauss Jr.,
As long as it's the right tempo and as long as it's the right rhythm of 3 counts of music to each bar, each measure, then it works.
it's hard to imagine that the dance form that's being celebrated globally was once considered forbidden. Well, that wraps it for us on board the Disney Wonder. We certainly hope you have enjoyed our program. You can check us out on the web at wmfe.org/arts. Send us your ideas there, view the podcast, or get information on any of the stories that you've just seen. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon. Bye. Please join me next Thursday night at 8 when we hit the streets in search of graffiti. Is this considered art?
I mean, stuff like this is totally legal and allows people to express their art, and they're not on somebody else's property, like painting their stuff.
And a local collage queen thinks outside the box with her unique creations.
It's extremely touching that they are entrusting me to create these things for them.
All that and more next Thursday night at 8 right here on WMFE TV.